Hi everyone, my name is Suman. I'm a registered migration agent of Aussizz Group. I'm back again with another live session, and today's topic is about the general discussion about 189, 190, and 491. So I'll just go through the overall scenario, what is happening in terms of the general scheme migration this year. Last year was one of the best year, golden year for all the migrants. They were receiving the invitations at low points, and also they would receive the multiple invitations. So now this year is a different year. It looks like a different year this year, and as you all know that allocation quotas has been heavily reduced, and then like what the planning level is still the same, but the quotas that received by each states has been reduced by significant numbers. So we'll go through the overall scenario, and then also we'll talk about the updates from the NSW and what we can expect in coming days, and also like what you can do to prepare yourself during this highly competitive criteria. Okay. And so that Australian government has already already announced the planning level for this financial year, and which is 190 places available for this financial year. And in fact, the financial level is not that reduced if you compare to the last year. It's just like 5,000 less than last year. But however, if you see the state's allocation, you can see like significant drop in the nominations, and I'll also explain you the reason behind the significant drop. Okay, so let's say like, for example, for the 189 visa, so last year there were 30,100 allocation for the 189 independent subclass, and this year only 30,375. There is a minimum change in the allocation for the 189 visa, and the change is due to the New Zealand stream 189 has been closed from 1st of July 2023, and they do have now a special direct pathway to apply for the citizenship directly. So there is a minimum change, but still the number of allocations still for 189 visa is still the same. So if you look at the planning level for the 2023 and in 24, you can see skill independent 30,375, and for the regional, which is 491, it is 30,300, and for the 190, it is 30,400 nominations. So the planning level is still the same, but allocation number are reduced. So I'll explain the reason behind the allocation numbers. So let's talk about the allocation number for this year. And for example, NSW, they have received 2,650 places for the 190, and for the 149 they have only received the 1,500 allocation, which is significantly less than what they were requesting. And same thing goes with the other states. For example, Canberra's, they have only received 600 number for the 190, and same number of allocation for the 491 as well. And so if you look at the overall allocation received by the all the states, then it is like 10,300 allocation for the 190 and 6,400 allocation for the 491. So in total, it is about 16,000 allocation for those combining 190 and 491. So that means, since the limited number of allocations received by the states, then this year nomination will be highly competitive. So you have to plan accordingly, and then you have to do your best to get your increase your points or meeting the requirements for these states. And because the allocation number are less, then there are some courses that you can study and do, and also expect the point invitation in high points. So yeah, today I'll be just going through the general discussion about the 189, 190, also like talk about the NSW. So in the meantime, if you do have any questions, then definitely I'll take the questions in the middle of session as well. So I do have some questions here, and it's from the Francis, and it's saying like, yes, sir, my wife is currently doing her Master of Education. Once we get the 485 visa, we are planning to do graduate diploma of early childhood from SU. Will she require to give English test? Okay, so Master of Education. Okay, so now whether she need an English test or not, that depends upon where she has done a bachelor. If she has done a 4-year study in an English speaking country, that is Australia or any other countries where the English language is meant, then she don't have to give the IELTS test. If your partner has only done a Master of Education, then probably that's a 2-year course, and then graduate diploma is 1-year course. That means she only doing the 3-year course. Then she will need to give the IELTS test for the skills assessment. And also for the admissions, admission requirements, I'll have to double check with the admission team. If she has already studied Master of Education, that means English requirement can be waived, because she has already done a master degree here. So I still got the so I have one other question from Ankit Joshi. Is it possible to submit UI right now? Yes, UI, you can submit UI at any time. So but make sure that when you submit the UI, make sure that you dedicate the particular UI for particular subclass. For 190 separate UI, for the 491 separate UI, and the 189 for the separate UI. Yes, definitely you can submit your UI right now. So I do have another question from Karim. So I'm an IT student. My college will teach me only 3 units related to cybersecurity. I'm doubtful if 3 units are sufficient to get the skills as my ICT security specialist. So is your IT degree the major, and is your only like 3 units are only related to security? If that is the case, then I'll double check with the I'll apply for the provisional skills assessment to find out whether you meet or not. And after knowing the provisional skill assessment, then you can apply for the full skill assessment. So if you have any doubt, then I'll recommend you to apply for the provisional skills assessment to find out the degree thing. Okay, so another question from Vinod Chaudhary. Hi, good day. My UI points for the 190 are 80. Submitted UI separately for NSW Victoria, SA Queensland during the week of August. Will submit ROI once any chances for ICT project manager offshore. Okay, so Vinod, as you might have already known that this year allocation number has been reduced significantly. That means all the nominations will be highly competitive. So you lost the UI and look because the numbers are less, so they might prioritize other occupations like nurses, teachers, and these occupations. So but definitely skills assessment will be valid for 2 years, and then you can expect once they clear their backlog, and then once they are announced the further allocation, then you can expect the invitation. But there is no harm in losing the UI. Just like you wait and see for further updates. Okay, I do have another question from Luke Knight. And will construction trade be priority as they are in critical list demand? Yes, especially for W. Yes, that's true. So they have said like all the construction related occupations will be on a priority list, and especially for WA. Yes, that's true. So if you can lose the UI for WA, and then you should be getting the invite from the WA. I've got another question from Garima, and chances of getting 189 business analyst 85 points in Victoria. Okay, so 189 is not related to Victoria, and if you have 85 points, look, last year was your business analyst was getting the invitations for the 189, and you just know that allocation number has been heavily reduced, so it is like sort of like 50% chance. And but once they clear their backlogs, and then once they have for the nominations, then you can expect the invitation. Or if in the meantime if there is any further anything that you can increase the points, then please get the points and just stay for the invite. Garima, again, minimum PT score required for offshore student visa. Okay, Garima, it depends upon what course you are planning to study. If you are planning to study something like registered nurse or other qualification, then you might be you might require the PT 65 each. and overall. So it depends upon what type of qualification, what type of admission you are trying to seek. And yeah, so Francis, I do have a question from Francis, just for the admission, of course. Okay, for the admission, Francis, I do not have that definite answer for it because she has recently finished the master degree. So then she might be getting exemption, but I'll double check for you. Do you mind just contacting me, and then I'll get the answer for you. So contact the Sydney Group Sydney Group Aussizz branch, Sydney branch. Then I'll answer your question. I'll talk to the admission team regarding it, and then I'll give you the answer for this. Okay, I do have another question from Usman. And how many points should accountants have to get a better chance for the invite? Please tell for 3, 189, 190, and 491. And also EOY, can I submit for accountant right now for NSW? I have 1 year of experience into them. Okay, so accountant occupations are, we have seen an invitation for the accountant occupation as well, but competition is really high for all the subclass 189, 190, and 491. For the 189, around there was invitation at 85 points, but I don't think that will again happen again for this financial year, because last year was they invited 35,000 applicants. So somewhere around 100 points, 105 points, you should put a UI. And also, like, if you are already working 1 year of experience in the regional, then there is one pathway under the stream 1, pathway 1 under the stream A. If you are working for the regional employer for 1 year, then you can also apply for the direct nominations, direct nomination to the RDA. And NSW has just announced that they will keep the previous nomination criteria as it is. So you can expect the 491 nomination through the stream pathway 1 stream A. Okay, I do have another question from Francis. So what should be the cutoff points for 189 engineering technologies currently living in Victoria? Okay, for 189, 90 or higher, but better to stay in a higher points. If there is anything that you can do, stay in high points, because it is a points-based system. If your occupation have if there are other candidates with the higher points, then they will get the invitation, not you. So it's always better that you put the UI, and also in the meantime you work on the points, whatever gives the points, you try to do that. Ravi Patel, what will be the processing time for the file lodged in April as a management accountant, WA 190, 70 points. Okay, the processing time for the 190 as of now around 7-8 months, and however they are only prioritizing critical sectors like nurses, teachers. I have received one 491 grant from WA in 3 months. So looking at the processing time, you can expect in 6 to 8 months. But if you are not getting the grant and then outside of the whatever they have announced, then you can also lodge the global feedback suggestion to the global feedback unit to see if there is anything preventing them to grant the visa. Ankit Joshi, thanks. UI points is general feature, 491 safety general feature 75 and 190 65. Which one is good, and any chance for the junior persons? Yes, so your occupation is very unique. You do have a very good chance for the both 491 and 190. So look, the key thing here is, if you really want to get the invite in a low points, then you need to have your occupations very unique. Having a unique occupation means less competitive. Probably you might be only one putting the UI. So you can expect the invitation is even a 65 points. So if you have a common occupations, let's say accountants, business analysts, then you might there will be a lot of applicants sitting at 80 points, 85 points, 90 points. So that means you will expect a lot of competitions in a common occupations. So having a unique occupation means, yes, Ankit Joshi, so your occupation seems very unique, so you can expect the invitations. And also, like, they are prioritizing trade occupations as well. Chandrakant Sankoti. I'm studying in G at Uni in Masters of Cyber Security. How is the chance of PR in 2025? Okay, Chandrakant. So your chances of PR will depends upon after your skills assessment. So once you finish your course, then you need to do the skills assessment, and there is nothing to do with the unit your uni about the skills assessment. You have to do either PY or 1 year of experience, and after this, then it depends which way you want to go for. If you are going for the general skill migration point system, then you have to get the higher points to get the invitation. Or if you are going for the employee nomination pathway, because of you studying in a GAT unit, then probably you will have a better chance of getting the employment, and also better chance of getting sponsor from the employer. So it depends on which way you are going there. Okay, so I do have another question from the Reddy. I'm pharmacist, just clear my CAPS exam. Is there any chance to get a PR in Sydney? Okay, pharmacist, yes, really good occupation. So you need to lodge the UI as soon as possible, and then so points wise, so you need to make sure that you are achieving higher points in each category, and then yeah, you should be expecting the invite from Sydney. Got another question from Dreamwin. I'm from India. I score overall 65 in PTE and graduated BBA in 2013 and MBA in 2015, working as a teacher till date. Can I get a student visa? Which course in the regional? So now MBA. So now if you are working as a teacher, you might also come here as a teaching courses, under the teaching courses, and then because you can satisfy the government that you have been working as a teacher. Now you like to have a formal qualification as a teacher, and then I would suggest you to apply in the regional area, so that I have seen higher success rate in the student visa regional area. If you are looking for the PR pathway, then you might also because you have done an MBA but working as a teacher. So let's say it depends what sort of teacher are you. If you are like the faculty head, or something like program coordinator, or faculty, or like that sort of thing, then you can also get the skills assessment, and then after the skills assessment we will be able to lodge the UI or ROI, and depends upon the points. Drumil, chances of getting 491 190 for a software engineer with 60 points excluding the state points or family points. Okay, 491. All right, so now because you have not mentioned about the years of experience. So if you do have a more than 3 years of experience, and then sorry, my live is gone. Okay, due to technical issue, my live from Instagram had just gone off. So I'll just carry on other platforms. Okay, so another question from Rahul Patel. So I have a project skill assessment offshore candidate in mechanical engineering technician, and can I need a migration point advice for state nomination, which is a one. This criteria can I apply without okay. So now look, so migration point advice is for those who are who are not like confident about the their duties, and also not sure about their qualification. Then you can go for the migration point advice. If you are not confident about your things, yes. Otherwise, if you are confident, then you don't have to apply for the migration point test advice. Okay, Salman Khan, when can we expect 189 invitation round? Also developer programmers at 75 points for 189. Can I increase my points as I lost them because 34 years old? Okay, so look, 189 invitations, like that only happened on December last year, and in May, I didn't see any ICT occupation getting invitations, and the 75 points for the 189. Okay, look, even in the big 189, I don't think 75 points were getting invited. So probably you might have to go for the 491 to increase your chances. And then if you have lost the points due to the age, then there are other factors you can get the points. So these are like through the English, maybe doing NATI, or maybe if you are in or maybe then getting the work experience, that sort of things you can do to increase your points. Okay, Mahesh. Hello, sir. Being offshore, how can we get job offer which is mandatory for WA 190 visa? Shall we withdraw our UI for it, or it is unable to get the okay? Yeah. So thing with the WA is the criteria is job offer for 6 months. You need a 6 months. So once you receive a invitation, they will give you the 28 days to find a job. So in 28 days, if you manage to get the job, then you can they will approve your 190 nomination. So what you can do now here is you try to look for the job in WA, and then tell them like, look, so tell them, so once you receive an invitation, tell them to issue a job offer, then you can your 190 will be approved, and then you can join them. Okay, I have another question from Morsalin. And hi, do you have any information about the 190 non-priority grants? Tension are arising because of many have passed 90% processing time and haven't got anything from Department of Home Affairs. Processing time is not working, and it seems like any way to communicate. Okay, so look, every year they have a planning levels, right? Once they reach those planning levels, then they cannot grant any further visa applications. They cannot grant any further visa grants. So now we are in the next financial year. So now they have a different planning level this year, and they should be granting your visa very soon. I have seen a couple of visa grant for 190 for non-priority occupations. So if your application time has been outside of the limit, then there is, if you just type in the Google global feedback unit, then just provide the suggestion about, okay, you applied on this date, and then you are just waiting, and then just ask if there anything required from your side to finalize the application. Just indirectly just ask what is happening. Kapil Gupta, what about community services? Yes, one of the good occupations in all the states. Applicants were getting low points in the NSW as well as other states, and also like you can easily meet the criteria, additional criteria for the state. So that's a good occupation, but make sure you study ACWA accredited course. If not, then obviously you have to find a job for 1 or 2 years before you get to apply for the skills assessment. Okay, Dhurmi, I have applied for the skills assessment from ACS since I am a software engineer. My brother is a PR of Australia and residing in Adelaide. What are my chances with 60 points, excluding sponsor, of getting 491? Okay, so family sponsor visa is also very slow. So yes, if you have your family who is Australian permanent residence and residing regional, then yes, you do have a very good chance. But that 491 family sponsor does not happen every month. So I have seen like 3-4 months, or sometimes once in 6 months. But definitely you do have a good chance. In the meantime, you also apply for the 491 without family sponsor, because Adelaide also do have a offshore pathway for that occupations. Okay. Another question from Singh Tak Singh. What are chances for points required for WA graduate accounting postgraduate? 80 and above. If you are a graduate, then also you need to make sure that you have a job offer and experience as well. And your occupation is in the Schedule 2 as well. So then you can expect the invitation under the Schedule 2 as well. Okay, Venkatesh, hello sir. Any chances for 190 NSW visa onshore with 85 points analyst program? Venkatesh sir, yes. Last year was the very golden year. Applicants with these points were getting the invitation. So as you know that this year they have only received 2,600 nominations, sorry, allocations. So competition will be high. So if keeping that in mind, 85 points may not be that enough. So please try to increase your points, and don't worry, because this is only for for limited time. Once they are done with their existing backlog, then they're gonna issue more allocations, and then once the allocation number is high, then you can expect the invitations. It's just like this year will be a little bit tough than last year. Tansi, does PY program airs points over the 5 points which you get for the 2 year of Australian PY programs? Okay, so if you are claiming for the PY, make sure you can only claim the PY for IT, engineers, and accountants. Okay, so you might have done an IT degree and then done the PY, but later on you might have done the community services. Then if you are lodging for the UI for the community services, you are not going to you cannot claim the points for the PY, because you can only claim the PY in the UI of IT, engineers, and accountants. Okay, Rihan, so can I get study visa and arrival visit visa? It depends whether your visa has no further stay condition or not. If your visa has no further condition, then you cannot apply any other visa. If your visa does not have that condition, then you can apply for the student visa. Getting the visa, student visa, depends upon a lot of criteria. Whether you're meeting the financial requirements and the proposed course of study, and then your previous history and other factors. But you can definitely apply. Dreamwing 2015 to 2019 is a primary coordinator, and 2020 to till is a primary teacher. Okay, so yes, Dreamwing, I can see your profile better, so maybe you can contact me. We can figure out something for you. So if you are a program coordinator, then we can also apply the program coordinator or admin. And also as a primary teacher, you can also look for the skills assessment, the primary teacher. Yeah, please contact Aussizz Group Sydney branch, and then we'll figure out something for you. Venkatesh sir, second question, any chance for NSW 491 also for information organization program? Okay, yes, good occupation. 491, so 80 points, I believe it's 80 points including 491. Yeah, you do have a good chance, but make sure that your occupation is under the pathway 1 and 2. And I do not have the last year occupation list, so I can't check whether it was in there. So they are saying they will check the, they are going to amend the occupations. And yes, one of the good occupations, less applicant is compared to other occupations, so you have a chance. Imtaz, stay, any chance for mechanical engineer with 80 points per 1 and still 190? Imtaz, chances are 50-50, not that great, due to the less allocation number this year, but this is only for this financial year. You do have a good chance, next financial year, because next financial year they will clear this all the backlogs, and then they will come up with the same planning levels. That means number of allocation will be increased. Yeah, so now in the meantime, if there is anything that you can increase the points, so you can increase because take that consideration for the points. Jagandeep Singh, WA 491 for computer network with 75 points, living in WA, graduate from Victoria, what are the chances? So look, I have seen a lot of questions about the chances. So you all know, the quotas has been reduced. So whenever the quotas has been reduced, then there will be a lot of competitions. So if you are just with the minimum points by doing just NATI, PT with 7, and with a work experience, there will be a lot of applicants with the same points. So there will be a lot of competitions within that point. So it's better that you still lodge the UI. There is no harm in lodging the UI, but in the meantime, if there is anything that you can increase the points, please do it. Karthik Kumar, hi, I have got 80 points as a mechanical engineer. So what are the chances for 190 is okay, 80%. I think Karthik Kumar and then Imtiaz. So you both have the same points. Yeah, please increase the points, not that great points, and please increase the points. Okay, and say chance for a mechanical engineer with 80 points for NSW, I have a 3 years of work. Okay, so now when you have a 3 years of work experience, then it increases your chances.
Yes, Charlie.
Hi everyone. Due to some technical issue, I have some issue with the live streaming. If you are just joining it, then I'm talking about just general discussion about 190 and 491 and 189. And if you do have any questions, you can drop the question here, and then I will get back to you regarding the just overall scenario about 189, 190, and 491. Okay, so Karthik Kumar, I have a question from Karthik Kumar. So even I have experience in Victoria as a mechanical engineer and currently employed. Okay, so I'm not getting the previous question here. I'll just skip that for now. Karthik Kumar, can you contact me in Aussizz Group Sydney branch? Then I'll see your profile and I'll give you the advice according to your profile. So Teddy, another question from Teddy. You studied diploma 1 year, diploma in business in Sunway College in Malaysia, and you studied second year in Bachelor of Business in Sunway College in Malaysia. Okay, so you studied in Malaysia due to border lockdowns and has not have a COE in that second year. Third year was 1 year student visas in student visa, bachelor completed. Okay, so now you have I noticed that you have studied 1 year without having a COE. Okay, so I'll have to see your COE and then the course that is registered, duration of the course that is registered, and also like if you have studied outside of Australia, then you need to make sure that you have held the student visa even though you were outside of Australia and doing the online course. Teddy, so you can contact me Aussizz Group Sydney, and then I'll have to see your all the COEs as well as your visa duration before making a decision to apply for the Point 5 visa. So, okay, Venkatesh, sir, another follow-up question. Yes, you have already answered my first question for 19085 point. Also, for an programmer, my current job is ending in Sydney. Do need to travel to India? Advise. Okay, so Venkatesu, I can't see his previous question. So Venkatesu, again, can you please contact me in Aussizz Group Sydney branch? Then, because I can't see the previous question because there was issue with the live streaming. Moninder Chauhan, what are chances of motor mechanic with 70 points for 189, 75 for 190, and 85 points for the 491? Currently Victoria, any chance of getting? Okay, Moninder, good occupations. Good occupation is just very unfortunate that allocation number has been slashed down. So, but you do have very good chance. Good occupation, very unique occupations. And which state would you recommend? So right now, look, Auran is suggest you to move. It's just like, let's find out all the criterias from all the states, and also see a couple of invitations, and then you can figure out how the invitations are likely to happen. And then if you are really if you want to really move, then only move if there is a job. Just don't move without having a job. Mayank Sharma, after slashing quotas, chances of offshore engineering manager, 10 years of experience, 70 points for study. Okay, look, Mayank Sharma, points wise, not that great points, but you do have a 10 years of experience. So they might consider you for the general skill migration because of your high number of experience, because they are stressing about the skill people. So even the onshore applicants, they do have a lot of points, they don't have a 10 years of experience in Australia. So you do have a chance because of your high number of experience. All right. Karthik Kumar, sorry to ask again. I'm 80 point mechanic currently working 80 points. Okay. Karthik Kumar, I believe you are in Sydney. With the mechanical engineer occupation, that was not in the list in the previous financial year, and that one came after the in the list after the February. So the mechanical engineer occupation in NSW is something like on and off, and we have to see whether the occupation will be in the list again or not. And then 80 points, not that great because of the less quotas. Bashir, what are the real processing time for section 1 subclass 190? I have been waiting since 2015. Okay, so around 6 months time we have been getting. So if you are waiting from February 20, then yes, you should be expecting grant very soon. Leo, I have submitted a visa subclass 836, but I have got Medicare. I'm on a 408 visa with health insurance. Can I cancel my health insurance since I have Medicare? Okay, so main purpose of having a health insurance is to make sure that you are covered. So as long as if you have a appropriate arrangement for the Medicare, then you can cancel your insurance. But make sure that Medicare does not cover all of them. So it depends upon what sort of problem or health issue you might have. So you just decide yourself. For example, Medicare does not cover the dental or problem with the eyes. Honest Resta, hi Sumandai, how many points 189, 190? Finishing masters in nursing graduate entry on this December, which visa to go for? 189, 190. I'm in WA. Okay, so if you are in WA, your occupation is in schedule 1. You will need a 1 year of experience already. Then if you don't have a 1 year of experience, then you might have to go to other states. And one NSW can be good, but you need to stay. You should have stayed in NSW for 6 months, or maybe if you go to Tasmania and work for 6 months, only 20 hours, then you can also expect the 190 from there. And 189 you can lodge from anywhere. So Anis, please contact me, and then I'll see what I can do for you. We are located in Sydney. Aussizz Group is the contact. Okay. Terry, second year in overseas, has not been issued COE and has not have a student visa in that second year. Okay, so Teddy, so you cannot apply for the 485 visa, because if you were not having a student visa while you were offshore and studying here, then that study is not considered Australian study. So you are not going to meet the 485 visa Australian study requirements. Maninder, if someone works as a Uber driver, is he eligible for 485 visa? Yes, I have done one case for the Uber drivers who was working as a Uber driver. Yes, we can lose the 485 408 visa, not a problem. Nitesh Ratnani, 85 points as a chemical engineer, subclass 190 is a good in WA. 85 points, yes, better than 80. 85 points, yes, sounds good. Yeah, you do have a good chance if you are already living in WA, yes. But make sure, keep in mind that quotas are less. In that case, you can also go for the 491, because I don't think there is significant difference in 190 and 491, because 190 you are expected to stay in a country state for 2 years. For the 491 is just one more extra 3 years. And then if you want to buy the property or any other things, even the 491 applicants can buy. So don't only go for the 190. You know, if you are already living in the regional, 491 can be the better as well. So yeah, so you have to apply both, and whatever comes first, take that one. Okay, so Leo, I have lost the family visa 836, and I have been issued a bridging visa A. How long do I have to wait for the 836 visa granted? And also we notify once the case of visa has been granted. Okay, yeah, so the processing times for the 836 is long. It is around the, more than 5 years. Yes, and once the case officer has been appointed, then they will send you acknowledgement letter, and if there are any documents required, they will also request, and also ask for the second installment of back. Julie, after getting 190, is it right to move to other states? Okay. All right. So these questions, I have been getting these questions during my consultation as well. So it depends upon the which states 190 you are getting. So if you are getting from states like Canberra, Tasmania, or like the other states, strict state, then they will do the survey after the visa grant. They will ask for the bank statement to see whether you are living in the particular state or not. So now, to be on a safe side, if possible, do not move. If you have to move, then you ask for the permission from the relevant state, and stating the reason why you want to move. Because as a part of the nomination, you must have signed a declaration saying that, okay, you are you have a genuine commitment to live there. And then now, right after the visa grant, if you move, then that you are just misusing nomination. And if you are not living in that particular state, then they might have given that nomination to other candidates who are genuinely willing to stay in that states. So better always ask for the approval to avoid any further complications. Rebecca, any chance for general gardener in Queensland? 85 points for 190 visa. Okay, so for the 190, you need to have 6 months of work experience, and then your occupation is very good. I would say you have a very good chance for 190. Random vlog will be the well. Okay. Any chances for computer network 491 in WA, SA, VIC, NSW with 85, offshore with no experience? Okay, so South Australia, they're only inviting highly skilled applicants. Victoria can be. NSW depends upon whether your occupation will be in a stream 1 or not. WA, yes, so they're saying they will prioritize applicants who are currently living in WA. If you are outside of Australia, then you will be on a second priority list. But look, lodge the EOI in all the states and see what will happen. In the meantime, if there is any chances of getting increase the points, or maybe keep on working, so that once you have 3 years of experience, you can also get the 5 points. And also, if you find any employer who can sponsor you, then you can also come on a employee sponsor visa. Okay, so now, yes, if you do have any questions, I'm just I don't have any specific topic today, just discussing about the overall scenario about 190, 189 and 491. And if you need any specific individual advice, then you can contact me. I'm located in Sydney Aussizz Group branch, and we will do the face-to-face consultation as well as online consultation. Honest fresher is 1 year experience compulsory now in WA. I have friends who got without experience. Okay, so without experience, I don't know any of this now. Okay, so your WA occupation, sorry, nursing occupation, most of the nursing occupations, they fall into the Schedule 1. If that is your occupation is Schedule 1, then yes, 190 is needed. If you have for 491, then you don't need a experience. So for 190, yes, you need an experience. Okay, Leo, final thing, sir. We have done BUPA medical certificate. I think it's valid for 18 months. Do I have to do the assessment again if visa is not granted after the 18 months, or just to wait for it? Okay, so now if let's say like if the visa is not granted, then you cannot use the same HAP ID. That HAP ID is already been assessed, and then medical clearance has been done. So if they require then another health examination, then case officer will gonna use issue another HAP ID, and then is requested, then you have to do. Otherwise, just wait for them to contact you. Julie, is it compulsory to participate in survey after receiving 190? There is no such like legal thing to participate in survey. I have seen NSW also conducting survey, but ACT, if you say ACT, then the way they sending the email to the applicants looks like they, if you are not responding them, then they're gonna withdraw their nominations. So it depends upon which states are you getting you 190. But in my experience, ACT and Tasmania, they are the strict in terms of following up with the applicants, whether they are actually living in their region or not. Nitesh, so it is mandatory under 190 that I would have to stay in nominated state for 2 years. If not, and if I move to interstate, does my visa cancel? Okay, so now, as of now, in my experience, I have not seen anyone's getting visa being cancelled. And staying in a regional after 190 is not the legal obligation. It is a moral obligations. So moral obligation means something that cannot be enforced legally, but to avoid the complications, if you really have to move, then you ask the permissions, and then you justify your reason for moving, so that later on, because what happens is, if you are moving, that's fine. There might be, then it might be the trend, everyone going there with living 6 months and then moving out of the states. So when there is like more repetitive action from a lot of applicants, then they will think like, okay, people are not here for coming here for genuine stay. They are only here for visa, and then they might come back to you saying that you have said yes to your obligation, or you have signed this paper saying that you will stay here, and then now you have not done as per your commitment. So just ask for the permission from there, or maybe like if you have a genuine visit, genuine reason, like security or any health. It's just like whenever they ask you, you need to have a genuine justification. That's all. Honest fresher, and can chronic illness can be a problem while getting PR? It depends whether it can be curable or not, and also depends upon the amount of expenditure that Australia has to spend after the PR grant, if that person wants to go for the treatment. But there are also the waiver available. It depends. Okay. Okay, random block. I'm already waiting from 4 years due to Labour government. Will the allocation be increased in December? So in December, a lot of changes are going to happen. And to be honest, the current government, they don't like the current systems. They don't like the current point system. but they are not ready for the new system that they have talk about. So just to keep migration invitation going on, so they have just issued a allocation, so that all the states and then territories will engage in inviting applicants. So after the December, obviously they will bring up something, some another program. So there will be a lot of allocation to make that program successful as well. So they just like giving the allocation to this current system which they don't like it, and yeah, so there should be a further allocations in December. Parminder Padwal, dear sir, whether we can uni, is I am doing Bachelor of Public Health in Deakin from July 2023. Want to do BSc nursing from AC February, please. Okay, so I do not understand your question. So it looks like you are doing the Bachelor of Public Health from this July, and then you want to do ACU. Okay, so I thought like you were talking about change of uni. After the 6 months, after completing the 6 months of your principal course, you can change of unit, uni. And there has been a rumor about 1 year of 1 year time that applicants cannot change the uni, but I have not seen any formal formal notification or formal announcement from the department about the 1 year. So as of now, yes, you can change your course or uni as long as you are doing the same level. Okay, so hi everyone. So I have answered almost all the questions, and I was live in the Instagram as well. So due to some technical issue on my phone, the temperature was high, and then I had to stop my live session from the Instagram. If you do have any questions, then you can drop your question here, or if you miss this live session, then you can also contact me in the Aussizz Group of Sydney branch. We'll do face-to-face as well as online consultation. Right. So any further questions? Aussizz Group will be doing live sessions on a different topics every week, almost every week. If you have any like doubt regarding any specific topic, then you can join the particular live session and get your answer from the registered migration agent. So I do have another questions from questions. So I have applied under the graduate stream WA 95 points for 190 and 105 for points for 491. Yes, so you do have a good chance. Your points is very good. 95 points or 190 is very good. Good points. Okay. So any further questions you have? So I'm almost at the end of the live session, and I'll come up with another topic after a couple of weeks. In the meantime, we do have various live sessions by the different migration agents in different topics. Okay, so I will have other questions. Management accounting and finance management manager streams. Okay, management accountants 100 above for the 189, and same is for the 4912. And another question from Nidia is the diploma of ECE can be applied for 485. Nia, can you specify what is ECE means? Early childhood education, is that means? Can you specify your course, then I can tell you. Tanya Goel, life scientist technician, can we work in closely related occupation job after completing skill assessment? Yes, if you have a skill assessment as a life science technician, yes, you can work in a closely related occupation, and also you can also claim the points. Early childhood education and care. Okay, early childhood education and care. Then your target. Okay, so if you have done a bachelor or diploma, if you have done a bachelor, yes, otherwise diploma, I don't think this occupation is in a medium and long-term list. Then if your occupation is not in the medium and long-term list, then no. So you make sure you do the bachelor level, not the diploma. Okay, Ricardos and Doritos. Okay, nice name. 85 points for 190, and as to 190 ICT project manager and chance. These points was really good last year. So this year, depending this year due to the less quotas, chances are not that great, but you can still log the UI and see. And in the meantime, if there is anything that you can increase the points, then you have to do that one. 491, good chance. You can also go for the 491. Technical assistance. So now we'll have to see your duties. If your duties are matching as a life scientist technician, yes, I would say so. We'll have, it depends on the duty, because title can be different. It can be technical assistance, it can be from the IT technical assistance, so maybe different other field. So duties are the things that really matters, whether you are closely working or not. Okay, so it's almost 6 o'clock, and now I'll have to end my live session. And like I said before, I'll come up with another live session in a different topic. Probably it might be just open discussion, or maybe I can come up with the specific topic. And then Aussizz Group is organizing a live session almost every week. And then there are various topics that you can get your answer through the registered migration agent. And if you need any advice through me, and then you can contact Aussizz Group Sydney. I'm located in Sydney branch, and then our phone numbers are in our social medias, or you can also directly ring our office. Our phone number is 0291528585. Thanks for joining me here, and then I'll just end my live session, and have a good